Hey YouTube, it's Arielle Phoenix here, ariellephoenix.com, and in this video I'm just going through some functions of my bulk publishing spreadsheet. I'm working on a really detailed template, well, a few templates, because there are different types of posts that work really well with this method. On the spreadsheet, which may have been quite confusing to some people, you've got bulk publishing variations and bulk publishing individual. Beyond the settings sheet, the only sheet that's active, as in has formulas in it, is the title and outline generator. Initially, it didn't. So what I'm working on now is making sure that the sheets that I put here already have formulas in them, so it's a bit less confusing. So I'm going to explain the difference between bulk publishing variations and bulk publishing individuals as a concept, so you can understand a bit more about how you produce the content that you produce and what keywords that you'll be using on each of those sheets. But as it stands, there are no formulas in bulk publishing variations. They just have proposed headings, but these can change. Nothing's going to go wrong if you change any of these headings. But when I make my template outlines, it's going to become a lot clearer why you choose the headings that you choose, because they each represent a variable or they store information for the AI to grab from. So with the title and outline generator, I've now added it. If you've purchased already, you'll have to go back into the Gumroad account and grab the sheet that I've already got there, because it's going to update this. Your one's not going to update if you've made a copy. But when you put a keyword or a list of keywords in, I'd say start with maybe 10. You don't want to fill it up with hundreds because these rows are all active. So when you put your keyword in, it's going to give you the title. So it's going to generate a title. It's going to generate an outline, and then it's going to generate an introduction. So how this works is it's going to grab the title based on your keyword. It's going to grab your outline based on your title, so it's giving you an informed outline. There's nothing worse than it trying to create an outline based on the keyword, which might not have much context to it. So it's going to grab the outline based on the title, and then it's going to grab the introduction based on the outline, because once it's got the outline, it knows where you're going with your post. So the reason I say don't put too many on is because you might want to check the output first. There might be something wrong with your keywords. You might want to give it a bit more context before you give it before it generates a title, and before you go on to create your introduction. Another thing that's going to happen once the outline field is populated, I've just added a formula that's going to split each line in the outline into its own heading column, which is perfect. So the prompt to grab the outline automatically generates 7 subheadings, and then those subheadings are going to be split into individual rows. So it's going to split it into this row, and then it's going to spread them out. So heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 7. So what you need to do once it's done that, for all of the you want to make sure you've done this for all the keywords that you want to cover, because the next step, this is something I couldn't do, or maybe I've just not figured it out yet, but the next step, once you've got your headings in this way, because it split them up, is to save values. You want to save your values. There's nothing worse than adding the heading text columns in between and then seeing that they're all the headings are in the wrong column. So once you've got your outline in, you're going to go to save value, and then you are going to add heading text, heading 1 text, heading 2 text, next to heading 2, heading 3 text, heading 4 text, and so on. And then you can start to generate the paragraphs for each of those headings. So if this is all sounding like jargon and you just can see these rows on the screen and I'm not explaining myself well enough, I have an example to show you. So bear with me one moment. So I've just made a copy of my sheet. I'm going to plug my API key in. Okay, so I've got my API key in there now. And now everything is live, everything's active. So I want to show you this so you know not to just go and throw keywords in straight away. You also might want to just clear these values. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you don't want this process. I was trying to make things quicker and easier. But maybe you don't want this process. You don't want it to eat a bunch of your credits. So you just clear these fields. It's not going to break anything. But this heading 1, the formula in there is very important. So you might want to leave that one, because that formula is not a GPT-3 formula, so it's not going to cost you any tokens. It's a normal Google Sheet formula that splits your list of headings into individual rows. So leave that one, delete all the others. But for the purpose of this video, I want to show you the magic that happens when you put a keyword in as things are now. So immediately it's generating the catchy heading. And from the heading, what does it say? Error 403. Okay, never mind. It's still working. So it's got the catchy heading. It's got the outline. It's generating the introduction now from the outline. And there we go. It's separated, because this was an issue before, because you've got your entire outline in one cell, and now it separates them into heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. Now these cells, although they say they've got the information in them, if I were to delete heading 1, they would all go. The formula's gone. So what I do now, assuming everything is fine, is I would go to save values and save all formulas as text. And if this is the first time you are using the sheet, you're going to need to authorize that. It's okay. You can trust me. There's nothing dodgy. It's not unsafe. Allow. Once it's done that, you need to click it again and save all formulas as text. And there, now you've got it. You've got everything done. So now if you need to edit anything, now's the time to do it. You edit your introduction, your outline, any of that stuff. If you go to edit your outline now, it's not going to generate into these fields, because the formula's gone now. But I have included the formula and the whole process in the document in my masterclass, so it won't be a problem to just do it again if you see any issues. But you want to be able to, now that they're flattened, you do want to be able to edit them. So it's important to go through now and do all your editing. If you're using something like ChatGPT, which I still use despite having my sheet, I'll take my introduction and I'll get it to do something a bit more to it. One of the things I like to do is to add BR, to add break, HTML break, or bold and things like that into the spreadsheet. So when I submit it, it's already done a lot of formatting, so it already looks stylized. But now the main thing here is you've got your outline. Now is the time that you would go and you would insert column right, and so on. And then you'd want to name these heading 1 text, heading 2 text. Keep it as consistent as you can. So when it comes to creating the template, everything is named properly and you can just pretty much copy and paste. You don't have to click and drag new headings. You can just change the number to heading 1, from heading 1 to heading 2, and so on. So keep everything uniform throughout. So I'm not going to do all of these because it's eating my credits, and I think once I've shown you once, you can kind of get how it works. What I will say is check your outlines first, because I've just noticed I've got introduction. These are not going to be headings. We've got our introduction. What I would do is, before I flatten with save values, before I flatten all formulas as text, I would just save my GPT formulas as text. And what that does is it saves all these generations, and then I'd have to manually go through and take away this. And I'd probably want to take these numbers out too. So I would still manually go through and remove introduction, because we've got one. And once it's done that, and the second one is on the top line, heading 1 is going to be that one. So we'd have 6 headings instead of 7, which is fine. You can change it from 7 to 5 or anything. that makes the most sense to you. But for this video, I'm just going to have to ignore that oversight of mine and do heading 2 instead. So we're going to do heading 2 text. Stretch this out a bit. And we're going to do get para. And it's going to get a paragraph for the heading. I'm going to flatten this so I can see it. When driving a Nissan Qashqai, there are a few reasons why you should consider turning off the airbags. Firstly, if you have children in the backseat who are using booster seats or child car seats that have not been installed correctly, this could mean they're too close to the airbag and could be injured by it when deployed. Secondly, due to its size, some drivers may find the airbag a bit intrusive, hence it's best to turn them off when necessary. Ultimately, though, your safety is paramount, so make sure you weigh up all of these factors before making a final decision. I cannot speak for the AI. I can't. That's one thing I can't do. I've made these prompts I made them how I use the prompts. But with AI, you still want to go through and make sure that what it's writing is accurate. So when it comes to these sheets, use them how you are going to use them. But the way I use them is I do not just take the AI text and then upload it. Now, of course, with the sheet, you now have the ability to put in 100 keywords, get 100 titles, 100 outlines, 100 introductions, and do this whole thing and upload those. And I wish you, if that's how you're using it, I wish you all the success in the world. However, I will be the first to say I do not use the tool that way. I do not use the tool that way. These videos that are on YouTube are for the purpose of showing you how the tool works and how it can work. But I strongly recommend you are creative in the way that you create your content if you care about your site. And that is why I am publishing 30 or 40 articles in a day or in 2 days rather than 100, 200, 1,000 articles, because I'm not doing it in this way. I could, but that's not how I'm using it. So, but yeah, as you can see, that's what you do. So what you do for all of them is get para, generate, and then you're going to click and drag. So you've got the same formula going down. It's not going to generate anything in these. There's no keyword, so you don't have to worry about that. So it's going to generate these. And then again, you do heading 3 text, heading 4 text, click and drag, and you've got your text. The best thing is that you're not doing the concatenate. So if you are using it like me, then you'd flatten these and you're able to edit it. You can go through. You don't have to use concatenate to grab the car type and all of that stuff, because you've already got a base to edit. And that's the main thing. So I hope this video was useful. I hope it shows you a bit more how you can use this tool. I hope your brain is fired up thinking of ways that you can use this, creating these powerful topic clusters and achieving topical dominance in the niche. That's the only plan for 2023. As usual, if you want to check this spreadsheet out, if you want to check out my masterclass, the link is in the description. It's on Gumroad, or you can head over to ariellphoenix.com/bulk publishing. That's it, guys. Peace.